everyone. Now this is the demonstration on anterior cranial fossa. Now here you can see this is anterior cranial fossa which lodges the frontal lobe of the cerebral hemisphere. The separation between anterior and middle cranial fossa you can see by this posterior margin of lesser wing of sphenoid on right and left side, and in the middle by the anterior border of sulcus chiasmaticus. Anterior cranial fossa is formed by orbital plate of frontal bone here which separate this fossa from the orbit. So this is orbital plate of frontal bone. Then in the middle you can see this ethmoid which is showing this crista galli and cribriform plate, and then lesser wing of sphenoid and this jugum sphenoidale. So sphenoid bone, orbital plate of frontal bone, this ethmoid bone. So these are the structures forming this anterior cranial fossa. Now you can see that in the midline this triangular projection, this is known as crista galli, and here this is the bony ridge, this is the frontal crest. So the frontal crest and crista galli, they give attachment to this dural fold, anterior end of dural fold, that is the falx cerebri. This forms a partition between two cerebral hemisphere. Between crista galli and this frontal crest you can see this foramen is there. Usually this foramen is blind, so no structure is passing from it, and it is known as foramen cecum. But sometimes it transmits emissary vein which is connecting nasal mucosa with the superior sagittal sinus. So this is foramen cecum. Now on each side of the crista galli you can see this is the cribriform plate of ethmoid. Now cribriform means sieve-like. This is because of the multiple foramens formed by the olfactory nerve rootlets which are passing from this nasal mucosa to the olfactory bulb. There are two olfactory bulbs on each side like this, and this olfactory bulb they are receiving from the inferior aspect in right angle these olfactory nerve rootlets which are carrying the sensation of smell from the nasal cavity, upper part of nasal cavity. So this is the first cranial nerve. Now here in this each side of this crista galli there are openings of this anterior and posterior ethmoidal canal. This anterior and posterior ethmoidal canal, they are connecting it to the orbit. So here you can see this is opening of anterior ethmoidal canal and posterior ethmoidal canal. And this anterior ethmoidal canal and posterior ethmoidal canal are transmitting anterior ethmoidal vessels and posterior ethmoidal vessels and nerves. Again, each orbital plate of frontal bone, here it articulates with the lesser wing of sphenoid. So this is the lesser wing of sphenoid, and here this cribriform plate of ethmoid, it articulates with this jugum sphenoidale. Now below this jugum sphenoidale there is presence of sphenoidal air sinus. Now this sphenoid is a pneumatic bone, so it's containing this sphenoidal air sinus which is lying below this jugum sphenoidale. While orbital plate of frontal bone, it's separated from the orbit and ethmoidal air sinuses. Now here you can see posterior border of lesser wing of sphenoid. This border is very sharp and is known as sphenoidal ridge, and it projects inside the lateral sulcus of the brain. And here this end of this, it is known as anterior clinoid process on the medial side. So this is the sphenoidal ridge which is ending here in middle on each side of this anterior border of sulcus chiasmaticus. This projecting part, this is known as anterior clinoid process. It gives attachment to free margin of tentorium cerebellum. Here you can see like this the free margin of this tentorium cerebelli is attached to it. So this is about the anterior cranial fossa.